So I'm just going to sit on my bolster in Bhatakanasana. You take your seat however you like and sit in a nice supported way. We take this seat of the yogi, someone who's come to your mat to practice and to be introspective, to feel into what is and what you need. And, you know, this is the ultimate self-care. So, all right, once you're settled. I have my hands at my heart. You put your hands wherever you like for the first few moments. Well, on your kitty is all fine. And inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bow your chin, close your eyes, and start to just settle in. You draw your awareness from outside to inside, feeling into, say, the weather inside, the temperature inside. How are you feeling? Are you feeling fiery? Are you feeling calm? Something giving you anxiety, excitement? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling grief? All of those human emotions, energy in motion. Just tuning in right now. So that when we take this sit at the end of class, you have something to reflect on. This is how I was at the beginning. This is what I was feeling. In your emotional body, feeling body, sensory body. And we'll just welcome all that is and call ourselves home 3 times. Inhale to lengthen and release this breath completely. Inhale fully to begin. Bowing your chin. Take a full breath in. Breathe this breath into your hands. Catch your breath. Hold it there for a moment. And then offer this breath to yourself or outside. If it's something you want to release, you just send it out. And if it's something you're like, okay, I just need to feel that, then just bring it in. And then let your hands rest on your thighs. Release your jaw. And inhale, lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay. All right. I feel we're going to use a wall for a little bit of legs up the wall. We're going to use a strap. We're going to use a bolster and blankets. So let's say our first pose will be just. I shouldn't say just. First pose is going to be Shavasana 2. So lying over your bolster. You can put a blanket for your head. If you find the bolster is too much, just take another blanket and just make like a very small little bolster. You can lie over that, and just while you do that, I'm just going to move my beautiful artwork. Okay, and then here we just sit behind the bolster. If you have back stuff, you sit a little further away. You can go right close, And lie back, open your arms out to a comfortable space. So I have mine out like a T. If that's too much, just lower them. And I'm starting with my knees bent, just to release the low back. Drop the pelvic floor, open the shoulders and the heart. Now just rest. I'm just going to rest here. So however you want to adjust your legs, go ahead and do that. And once you feel settled, I'm just going to tune into the breath. Notice where it's filling. perhaps you feel that breath in the chest area. And if you don't feel it there, just bring your awareness to your heart space and feel that the in-breath is literally lifting the heart, opening your wings. And the exhale is settling yourself back into your rest. Just follow that for a few moments. Notice any tension in your jaw. And then from here, I'm going to take the arms over the head. And so you can just, maybe they might even rest on your bolster. The hands maybe come to the floor, maybe not. And if your legs are bent and it's okay to straighten them long, then just take that for a moment. Flex into your feet just enough so that you feel that you're anchored in your feet. You're not just flopping. And now be with the breath again in this extended place. And let's just take one more full breath in. And as you breathe out, you can return to the resting pose we were in a moment ago. Good. Okay, now we're going to move to windshield wiper. You might want to scoot down a little bit if your back needs more grounding or more space. And then just finding a nice distance for the feet, and we'll just start to rock the knees side to side. And because we're on the bolster, just move slow in a way that is mindful, nourishing. You can feel the hips rotating in and out, the low back getting a little twist. And because we have this bolster underneath the shoulders, blades, and the backs of the shoulders are also getting a little bit of movement here. We're just feeling into all that is unfolding at this moment. Good. And nice. The next time your knees rock over to the right side, I'm going to take that left arm and sweep it up and overhead. We're going to come right over. We're not going to our little twisty pose right there. You're just going to come right over to the right side. Come on up. And then once you're sitting up, I'm just going to bring my right hip back close to the bolster and keep the blanket here. We're just going to take a little twist. We'll take both hands over. And as you bring your hands over and the left hip lifts, let's play with that a little bit. Just drop and lift the left hip a few times. So we are getting into this maybe tight space of the left hip, side waist. And I'm just going to do one more of this lifting and lowering of the left hip. And then I'll let it lift. Turn your chest, lay down on your bolster. You can put your hands underneath your head if you like. You can turn your head to face the same direction as your knees, right at the beginning of our practice. And just take a few breaths here. Rest in, rest in. Okay. And so I'm going to deepen this just by separating the legs. So I'm going to take the bottom leg, which is the right leg, out in front. And the left leg, it can stay bent. It's just going to move back a little bit, or it can go straight. Whatever you feel here. Just open up something. And then really come into the breath. Let the breath do the work, so to speak. Oh, as I say that, I think, that is the breath's job, is to feed and nourish this entire being. So you're just making space for the breath to do what it does. And one more full breath. Side out. And then come on back up to your sitting. So hands down, maybe the legs together. Press up. And then we're just going to turn it. And we're going to come back to lying down. So whatever works, adjust your stance. Open your arms. The legs can go straight right away, or they can stay bent. And come back to your breath at the heart space. I love this mantra. My heart is opening. My heart is opening. Good. Okay, I'm going to take the arms over the head again. This time, bring the hands together at the heart, interlace the fingers, flip the palms, press up to the sky, and then start to take them up and over your head. And we'll just be in the extended breath. I'm literally pulling my arms further, making them longer. So you be kind to yourself. If your shoulders are like, this is not for me, and you just modify for yourself in a kind, loving way. That is the ultimate practice. And one more full breath in. And then release the arms the same way you come in. So as you breathe out, you lift them up to the sky, palms together, and then open them wide. Back out. Okay. You're going to bend the knees, feet to the floor. You're going to come to windshield wiper just on the left side, just to roll over. So you drop your knees to the left, and then we'll take that right arm and just sweep it up and overhead and around. And then just bring yourself up on the left side. Adjust your seat, your legs, and then we'll start with the hands either side of the bolster. And we're just going to start with that right hip, just rocking up and down. And you're just feeling, oh, what does this bring up? Just breathing into this action, even feeling, all the little movements. Good. Let's do one more. Lift and lower. And then you keep it lifted. Turn, lay your chest, your belly on the bolster. You can put the hands wherever you like. If you're going to rest your hands one on top of the other, just change it to your non-habitual placement. And breathe. Rest in. You notice any place you're gripping, the shoulder blades, the jaw. And then you can stay as you are, or we're going to open the legs and we'll take the bottom leg out to the left and the top leg is just going to move back, or maybe straighten. You just feel what would be the best. And then again, just descending into that exhalation, to the releasing of what you're holding. So you create space. It's like, here we are this time of spring. And, I can't be the only one who's been spring cleaning like crazy and getting rid of a lot of stuff. And, when you get rid of stuff and you create that space and you're like, it feels so good in your house when you do that, or you move the furniture around. Open the windows. Create some space for the breath, for air. Okay, let's take one nice big breath in, sigh it out, and then slowly, lovingly release from this. And we'll just bring ourselves back. And last time, we're just going to lie down. So last time. Okay, and then just take the resting pose. And maybe when you first got into this pose, things, the back was a little tight, shoulders weren't exactly happy. And then just tune into what changes have already occurred. Okay, and then we'll bring the palms together at the heart. Opposite, interlace the fingers, press the arms up to the sky, and take them up and over your head. Maybe the arms get longer, the legs get longer. Heart space, the rib cage dropping down. And you're breathing as if, this is like the greatest air ever. You just want to fill yourself up with it. Okay, let's take one nice big breath in. Release it. Inhale as you are. And as you exhale, take the arms back up, bring the palms together, and then open the arms out. Good. Okay, one more breath. Okay, let's bend the knees, feet to the floor. And I'm gonna lift the hips up. That's where we're gonna go. So I just kind of walk the feet in a little bit. They're parallel to each other. I'm gonna keep my arms where they are. And just release yourself down. And then you feel the feet pressing down as you start to lift your hips. And they don't need to go any higher than they're gonna go. And then as you exhale, you'll slowly lower down and feel like you're almost lowering from top to bottom. So you're very aware of that bolster. Once you come all the way down, pause here as you inhale. And as you exhale, just do that again. So you're really anchoring the feet, lifting the hips. Once you get the hips lifted, you might lift your toes. You see how that goes. Good. And then lower yourself all the way down. Think of the down part as like, oh, I'm going to be really aware of gently setting myself down. And then inhale as you are. We'll do one last one. This time I'm going to take my arms over my head. Lift the hips, tuck the chin. Lift the toes if that's there. Spread the fingers if that's there. And exhale. Lovingly, gently release yourself down. Good. Okay. And then I'm just going to pause exactly as I came down. One big breath in. Big breath out. Okay. I'm going to start to come up to sitting from the bolster. If you're not comfortable doing this, you just roll to the side. But bring your hands behind your head. Lift your chin to your chest. Take your hands. And you find your knees, or you just reach and you're just here. So you're kind of like in a crunch position. Maybe you're holding your knees. You're going to draw the belly in, drop the shoulders, drop the jaw. Be here. If you're not holding your knees, it's all good. You're getting it right into the abdominals. Wow. Drop the shoulder, drop the jaw. Maybe you come up a little bit higher. I'm not holding my knees now, but if you're holding your knees, you might even lift the feet up off the floor to help, and then just start to come up. And once you're up, soles of the feet together into Bhatakanasana, just give your feet a little rub. Good. Okay. All right. I'm going to slip my socks off. And okay, I'm just going to bring ourselves over to the side in any way that makes sense. Bring yourself to your hands and your knees. And it's going to take the blanket off the bolster. I'm going to turn the bolster so it's lengthwise. And I'm going to say bring your blocks forward. If you might use them, you might not. So just so they're there. So we're all set up. Okay. And then once we're here, I'm going to use the bolster to just rest my hands on, tuck the little toes under, and move into a forward fold. And make it kind. Make your feet as wide as you need. Bend your knees as much as you need. I'm going to start to just sway the hips a little bit side to side. Feeling in. So as I take the hips to one side, I'm going to straighten the opposite leg. Go over that shoulder. Just be kind. So I'm on the bolster. If that's not good, you have your blocks. You can put your hands on your blocks. You just keep the bolster, walk your feet up. Okay. And into the feet. Feel your feet. Okay, I'm going to now lift and lower the heels a few times and maybe even rock back and forth. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lift the heels and then rock onto the heels and lift the feet. And do that in whatever way makes sense. Articulate your feet some way. Your little tender tootsies. Good. Okay, and then we're going to just come to forward fold. So feet on the floor, bend your knees, friends, as much as you need. Let yourself go. Hands might go to the floor. They might stay on the bolster. Chin might tuck so the crown of the head is facing the floor. Just breathe. Feel into the backs of your legs. Anchor your feet down. Maybe the legs start to go a little straighter. Maybe not. Breathe. Okay, and now place your hands back on your bolster. I'm going to walk the hands over the bolster. I'm going to bring the knees onto the bolster. Or maybe even the knees let's say the knees are past. I'm on my shins. And then you have your blocks at any time if you need them. Okay, I've lifted my feet up off the floor. So I'm literally just on the shins on the bolster. And I'm going to start to move into child's pose without letting the feet come down. So that is, walk your hands forward, take your hips to your heels, and maybe that's it. And you just stop there. Or maybe you come onto your forearms, drop your head, or you rest your head on your hands or on your block. And so just really crunching. One more breath. And then we're going to come back to forward fold. So hands down, tuck your little toes under. And then just start to find your forward fold. Hands might come back to the bolster, might stay on the blocks. Just breathe here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I've walked my feet, they're pretty close to the bolster. Bend your knees, you have your block, so you put your hands on the floor. I'm going to keep the left foot where it is and put the right toes and the balls of the feet on the bolster with the heel down. So I'm just going to move my left leg out of the way, just if you need to take a little peek. Okay, left foot's back, then bend your knees. We're going to rock a little bit front to back. And maybe the legs are going to straighten. Maybe you're on a block. I just grabbed a block. Okay, so you're just rocking here. There's the little bit of a calf stretch. I'm even starting to lift the right toes a little bit and anchor the ball of the big toe down. Good. Okay, so you're just exploring. So whatever your legs are doing, bent, straight, moving front to back. Okay, and then I'm going to move my hands back to the bolster, step that left foot down, or the right foot down. Come back to your forward fold, whatever that is, friends, whatever that is. Even if it's forearms on the thighs, and you're there. Just breathe contented with your pose. Okay, and then second side. So hands to the floor or to your block, whatever works. And then we'll take that left toes, ball of the foot onto the bolster. Now, I did say this on the other side, but if you need to walk your right foot back, do that. Make some space. And then just be with what is. So knees bent or straight. Do a little bit of front to back. Hands on block or on floor or on bolster. Just feeling in. I'm just starting to activate the left toes a little bit too. Good. Just be with what is. Breathe. Smile into those tight spaces. Good. Okay, one more moment. Let's say this. Notice if you're clenching your glutes. You might need to keep that clench, but maybe you can let that go. Good. Okay, and then we're going to come off. So I'm going to take my hands back to the bolster, step the feet down, and drop into your forward fold. This time I'm going to take the hands behind the back and interlace the fingers, move the shoulders away from the ears, and just start to maybe take your hands away from your back. The arms might go straight. I take the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades together, tuck the chin, anchor into your feet. One more breath. And then release your hands, and we're going to come all the way up. So I'm bending the knees. Bring yourself up to standing. Just stand there. Be dizzy. Be with your breath. Just feel everything opening. Yes. Okay. All right. So bolsters here. We're standing here. Hands to your hips. I'm going to take both balls of the feet to the bolster. So if you need a wall, guys, just move things around so you're holding onto the wall. Otherwise, the balls of the feet, toes are on the bolster, heels are on the floor. Good. Okay, I'm just going to lift the toes a little bit, even if it's just in my mind's eye. Lift your low belly. Good. Now you might walk your feet wider apart, you see. I'm going to bend the knees. Good. So they're just bending a little bit, nothing major. Drop your jaw. Breathe. Keep the weight in the heels. One more moment here. Now I'm going to straighten the legs. Release the arms down by your sides. Press all parts of your feet into bolster floor. Draw the low belly in. Drop your shoulders. Good. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, bending the knees. This time, I'm going to reach my arms out in front and maybe up to the sky. Or you can keep them on your hips if that's better. And we'll inhale. And then exhale, start to bend your knees. You don't have to bend that much. You know, we're just looking for space. So I'm going to take my arms up to the sky. I lift the low belly to this modified Bhatakanasana, Thunderbolt Pose. One more moment. And then we're going to go to forward fold. So I'm going to straighten the legs, open the arms out. I'm going to keep my feet on the bolster, and you have your blocks there. So as you come into your forward fold, it could be interesting. Okay, I'm just paralleling my feet. And then we're going to be here. But that doesn't mean it needs to be just hanging out. You know, maybe you want to rock a little bit, just feel into anything that's tight. Okay, I'm going to just change this a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is step the feet right on the bolster. But I'm going to let the heels hang off a little bit. So you just go, okay, how can I find that so that I'm almost in a reverse high heel, where the high heel would be at the ball of the feet and the heels are dropping to the floor. And then you have your block if you need it. Maybe you can start to straighten the legs just to feel, you know, they don't have to go straight. Keep the weight over the heels. So you might be sending your tush back to kind of take something out of the calves. So I'm actually walking my hands forward. I'm going to be here. One more breath. You know, it's going to feel so good is a regular forward fold. So now walk your hands back, step off your bolster, come into your forward fold, and you can put the hands on the bolster, floor block. Let's just pedal the knees, bend one knee at a time. Do that a few times, and then find a good stance for your forward fold. I'm going to take the hands behind the back, opposite interlace. Maybe they just stay there. That's already work. Lift your shoulders. You start to straighten the arms up to the sky. Tuck your chin. Drop your jaw. Breathe. One more breath. And then release the arms. I'm coming to Thunderbolt Pose. So I'm going to bend the knees. Maybe the hands go to the thighs and you just lift up, or you take your arms out, or you reach up. I'm going to lift the toes. And notice if your knees are coming together, just open them out. Good. Inhale, rise. And exhale, just release your arms. Just be here. Feel everything that's happening and the grounding in the legs, the lifting of your heart. So good and juicy. Good. Okay. All right. So I have block here. Just look and see where your props are, because we're going to turn around. So you know where they are. Open your feet a little wider. Maybe they turn out. We're going to come down for a squat. And we have that bolster there. You could sit on it. Okay, so whatever works. You're going to bring the hands together at the heart. Inhale, and then you start to sit down. And maybe you end up, you know, your forearms on your thighs, and you use your hands to help, or you just keep going all the way down. Maybe you sit on your bolster. And we're here. I'm just going to breathe here for a few moments. Okay, if you can balance, balance. One more breath. Good. Okay. Release your hands. I'm just sitting on the bolster. I'm going to move this block out of the way. And then hands to your bolster. Just stretch your legs out. Move your little toes in and out. Okay. So we're going to come back to lying down. I'm going to move that bolster so it's underneath my knees. Just fancy like that. And then once you lie down, if you want something for underneath your head, go ahead. We're going to go to Banakanasana, the soles of the feet together, knees open. Hopefully the bolster's enough. If it's not, I'm going to just tuck a block. Oh, that's nice, actually. I just tuck the block under the end of the bolster, and if that's what you need, do that. Okay, and then come to lie down. Okay, so a little different shape. So you can open your arms out to the side. When we first did this, I said, Feel the breath at the heart space. But now we've changed where the breath is filling, so take a moment or two just to be in connection to where your breath is expanding you the most. Okay, so if you don't feel the breath in the low belly area, that's where we're centering it. So just be with that for a few moments. Maybe you expand that space as you inhale. You let the exhale release it down. You're breathing and filling from the navel to the pubic bone. Good. Take a nice big breath in. Breathe it out. Okay. Good. All right, so put your mind in your left arm. You don't even need to look at it, you know it's there. And as you inhale, we're going to sweep this arm up and over your head. So maybe take a peek, make sure it's clear. And then inhale, sweep it over, and you're going to roll onto your right side and let the left knee just come on top of the right. And then you'll open again, and we'll just come back to lying on your back in Bhatakanasana. Okay, if that makes you dizzy, just pause. Otherwise, go ahead, sweep the right arm, lift the right knee, take it on top of the left knee, and then just reopen. So you're just moving side to side with this nice opening. And hopefully the bolster is helpful and supportive. Okay, the next time you move on to the right side and you bring that left knee on top of the right, we're going to hang here for a moment. You might even lift yourself up and scoot your hips back. So you get your knees resting on the bolster, and then you'll just come on back down once you kind of readjusted. So now you're lying on your side, knees on top of knee, you got the bolster there. Left arm extended over the right arm. And then we're just going to open and close in this place a few times. So now we take it more into the mid back. And you go ahead and move as slow as you like. If the fingertips can stay in connection to the floor the whole time, that's kind of what we're looking for. That the hand does turn, but the hand in contact with the floor. If that doesn't happen for you, you just go, okay, not today. And the next time you take your left arm over the right, you might even stretch the left arm away a little bit. So you're opening more space in the shoulder blade area. Moving with your breath. Luxuriating in the twisting action. Good. Okay, I'm going to do one more. So I'm just completing this one, and I'm going to do one more full. And you might even just pause at the peak of each pose. And we'll end up in the open chest, arms out to the side, knees are still over to the right. Good. Okay, then we're just going to plant the feet. I'm going to take you in differently. We'll lift the knees and you just shift your hips, like walk yourself more over to the right side of your mat. So your hips are moving, shoulders moving. Good. Okay, then we'll just pop the knees on top of the bolster, and hopefully that shift worked out nice. So you have the right knee on top of the left knee, arms are open out to the side. Oh, we open with that. Okay, that's all right. Okay, look at your right arm. Inhale, and then as you exhale, you sweep it over your head. And we'll just come to this opening and closing a few times. So just moving in whatever way feels nourishing and therapeutic. What medicine is there for you here? Good. Then feeling the breath, initiating the movement. Maybe that right arm is going to slide up longer over the left arm. See, can I make more space anywhere here? Good. Just allowing, the dance of the pose, the simplicity and the joy of movement here. Okay, I'm going to do one last one. And we'll end up with the arms open. And just find your way back into Bhatakanasana. So you might lift your hips and kind of adjust and just take a moment to be in this open Bhatakanasana. And we're going to come back to rolling onto the left side from Bhatakanasana. So take a big breath in, breathe out, and then moving the right arm again. This time as the right arm moves, the right knee comes up and over. And we'll just do that a few times. So we're moving the right knee in and out as we move this right arm. And really even feel like I'm opening, I'm closing. And even coming into that, I am opening my heart. My heart is opening. And let's just do one more. And then coming to just lie on your back in the Bhatakanasana with the arms out. Pause here. Feel your breath. Okay, I'm just going to take the arms over the head, just reach, anchor the rib cage or solar plexus down, and then lift your knees up, place the feet on the floor. Good. And then inhale as you are. And as you exhale, just lift the arms up and down. Find your bolster. So you might use your heels to press it in. Lift your hips and just place the bolster underneath your sacrum or low back area. Feet are on the floor. Good. Okay, so feet are on the floor, your mid-back, shoulder blades are on the floor, head's on the floor, arms are out to the side if that works. Just take a few moments to receive this, drop in. Okay, you want to add extra calf. Just keep the heels on the floor, lift the soles of the feet, the toes, and then you press the heels down. Drop the jaw. Good. And then release your feet back to the floor. We're going to heel toe the feet wide. And again, we're going to come to a gentle windshield wiper, just as an opportunity to roll on your low back, mid back. Okay, so as you're windshield wipering, and let's do this actually. Bring your knees back up. We're going to come in all together. I'm going to inhale. As I exhale, I'm just going to take the knees over to the left, to the right, and then let the left knee come down a little bit more. It might even come all the way down to the inside. The right knee is going to do what it does, but focus on the left knee, and then you'll lift up, shift the knees over to the left, and let the right knee come down a little bit more. And we'll just do that a few times on each side. So it's really about the leg coming to the inside and bringing that down. So just opening that psoas muscle, the inner hip, outer hip, and maybe you're getting some cracking in your back. That's nice. Okay, good. All right, and then maybe just quickly wave side to side a few times. Find a comfortable place here that you can now walk the feet together. I'm going to bring the right knee into the chest and just hold it there. And then the left foot might walk out, or you might extend the left leg. And it might hover above the floor, it might come down to the floor. Flex through your feet, drop your jaw. Breathe. Good. Okay, so we're going to change sides. I'm going to bring the left knee in, so I have both knees in. If that works for you, you might have to put your hands on the floor for balance, or you can hold the knees. I'm just going to rock the knees a little bit side to side as they're together. And then keep the left knee, right foot to the floor, and then out or stays on the floor. Press through your heels, drop your jaw, your shoulders. I notice for myself, I get all off center here, on my right shoulder's lifting. I just moving my chest and my head a little bit more to the right. And breathe. Good. Okay. And then I'm going to stretch both legs out. If that works for you, I'm going to take the arms over the head. I'm flexing through the feet. Pull the feet back. And then press through the inseam of your leg, if that makes sense. The ball of the big toes pushing out. The inner heels pushing out. Feel your kneecaps maybe lift a little bit. Breathe. Good. Okay. And then place your feet back on the floor. Okay, I'm going to keep my arms over my head for a moment. That if you're there, I'm going to lift the hips up and then take your arms, while the hips are lifted, arms up to the sky and down. I'm just going to grab that bolster, take it out from under me, and then lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Stretch the legs out, arms over your head, take a nice big stretch. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Good. All right, I'm going to keep my arms over my head. You can bring them out to a T if you like. Just bend the left leg, left foot to the floor, and then heel toe that left foot out a little bit. Maybe the toes turn out. It's all fine. Okay, we're just going to roll onto the right side. So I push the left foot down, roll from your hips, and maybe you come all the way over, and then we're just going back. I'm just going to go back. And then once you're on your back, open that left knee out, and bring it into maybe tree pose. So the sole of the foot comes into the right leg. Take a breath. Good. And then lift the knee up, move the foot out, press the left foot into the floor, roll onto your right side, and then come on to your back. We'll just extend the left leg, then the right leg, heel toe your right foot out. And we'll just do the same thing. So push the left foot down, roll onto your left side. And then come on back. Once you're back, take a little lying down tree pose, Supta Bhatakanasana. Breathe, feet are working. Lift the knee up, heel toe the foot out again. And then roll onto the left side. This time from the left side, stay there. Bring your hands into placement, bend your knees, and press yourself up. Good. Okay. And now we're going to come to a little legs up the wall here. So if you want to put your socks on, and we're going to be far away from the wall. So if you're in your kitchen, then you can use your cabinets, no problem. Okay. So I'm just putting my socks on. I'm going to have my strap nearby. I'll move my blocks out of the way. I'm going to take the bolster. I'm going to put it for under my head. You could use a blanket too. And so then I'm going to be, let's see, about this far away from the wall so that my legs are at an angle. And you can go closer, you find the place where your legs can be straight and your feet can be flexed. And the legs should be nice and open in the back. Okay, I'm going to come a little bit closer. Just a little bit. And then once you're settled, we're going to take the strap. I'm just going to slip that strap maybe over the center of your right foot, and then take both heels to the wall again. So both heels are to the wall. I'm going to just take my hands, my arms are straight. I'm holding the strap, and I'm going to gently pull this right foot down. Keep the heel into the wall. Okay, I'm going to remind you guys, remember we do this when we do forward fold with the hips at the wall and the legs are a little bit away. And I say, maybe your hips can walk up the wall. You might feel your right heel can go up a little higher. Okay, breathe. Okay, now we're going to take this right leg away from the wall, but you're going to keep your hips at the wall. Hips on the floor, not at the wall. Hips on the floor. So I'm not letting the right hip lift for to bring this leg closer to my head. I'm going to keep the hips down. I'm just gently drawing this leg in. Your hands can go up higher. Drop your jaw. Just press out through the heel a little bit. The foot is flexed. Shoulders are relaxed. Toes might be flexed. Think of opening the back of your knee. And then Let all that weight descend so the back of the right hip or right butt cheek is nice and soft. One more breath. And like a little baby now, I'm just going to let this right leg come back to the wall. The hands will slide down the strap. And then I'm just going to change. So I'll put the left foot into the strap, slip the right foot out. And we'll just start at the beginning with the hands, arms are straight. You're holding onto the strap and you're gently pulling this foot down. And the heel might go up a little higher. You see, oh, what space can I find here? And then dropping the jaw, the shoulders, any tension in that leg. You just say, oh, okay, I see you. You might be feeling it maybe at the front of your thigh. How can you let that go? Good. Okay, so drop your back to the floor, your shoulders, even if they're lifting, let it go. And now I'm going to just pull this leg away from the wall, and I'm going nice and slow so that that left hip doesn't lift. And if I really pay attention, the leg is going to move away from the wall. I mean, it's a matter of inches. Good. Okay. Soften what you can and be with what you can. Good. And then like a little baby, let the heel come back to the wall. I'm going to put both feet in the strap. Let your hands relax. You can let go of the strap. Maybe you need to move your fingers a little bit. I'm going to take the arms out to the side. Breathe here. Good. Okay. So last one. I'm going to take both legs. So both feet are in the strap. I'm just going to find the strap again with the hands. I might separate the heels apart a little bit, guys. And then flex the feet, gently pull on the strap, press your thighs to the space behind them. And just be here. Balls of the feet are pressing. Now I'm going to pull these legs away from the wall. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe I can get to a place where I can reach up higher on the strap. And then just for fun, I'm going to lift my head up off my prop. Pull these legs in, elbows in, jaw relaxed. Looking at my toes, softening the glutes. And then lower the head back down, release the legs, and slip the strap off. Take the strap over, just set it out of the way. Bend your knees, place your feet at the wall, and then take the feet a little wider. And we're just going to do windshield wiper. Like we all know it. In a different plane. Good. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm saying, oh, wow, because this is what's coming next, and I didn't plan. So we're getting close to the end of practice. I'm just going to put the feet at the wall a little closer. Take this prop up from behind my head. I do have my socks on, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to push the feet in the wall, lift the hips, take the arms down, and just take a moment, and you might not even lift your hips spine. Spread your fingers, anchor the upper arms, take the belly down to the floor, feel the feet push in, and maybe you just stay there and flex your toes. Or you start to push in, you lift your hips. If you can get the hips up, you might walk your feet up the wall. Try not to turn your head because the neck is a little crunched. Okay, I'm pushing the feet, I'm pulling the toes away, and then I'm anchoring the feet to the wall and drawing down to the floor. They're not moving. Inhale. And then like a little gentle baby, lower the spine down. Okay, once you come down, maybe you straighten the legs. Just take a moment. I'm going to rest my hands on my body just to feel and connect. Good. Okay. And then from here, friends, we're going to move into Shavasana. If there's anything you think you need here, well, I say that, and then here's what's in my head now. I'm going to do the same thing and take one leg over. If you want to go to Shavasana, go ahead. If you want to do legs up the wall is what I was going to say, because we're here. If you want to play with me and do this next part, I'm going to place the feet again, upper arms down, hands down, release, and then find the lift. And once you have your lift, maybe the left foot stays to the wall, the right knee comes in, and I'm going to stretch it out. And plus, press through your heels. And then I'll switch. Maybe you're switching. Maybe you're watching. where you're resting. Good. Okay. And then come all the way down. Beautiful. And just rest in your own exhilarated energy, no matter what you did there. Sometimes sometimes you watch and you're like, oh, that's exhilarating. And then maybe you're trying it right now. Okay, good. I'm just gonna hug my knees into the chest, rock side to side a few moments. Okay, and then I am gonna set up for legs up the wall. So if you'd like to do that, that's great. And if not, it's great. Any way you rest is good medicine. And lately I've been doing legs up the wall with the bolster, just a little bit away from the wall. Another block here I'm going to put for my head. Okay. Sit. Okay. Whatever setup you have, just feel that it is so comfortable and restful. If you have a heating pad, oh no, it's not going to reach. Okay. Just grabbing my eye pillow. Right, so hopefully you've set up in a way that feels like you're being held. The energy of the earth, the presence of your breath. And this awakened, refreshed body. And as you breathe, just coming back to this idea of, we've done all this nice spring cleaning, where we can open the windows, and try the lungs, and just feel all that beautiful, fresh, crisp air. You're just feeding all the parts of your home with. And the body is just resting and receiving. Shavasana. If your legs up the wall and you're happy, then stay. If you'd like to move to lying down and just finding the most gentle way to do that without disturbing the body too much. Just tuning into the connection of this body on the earth. As you exhale, release yourself, any stress, anything you're holding. And just coming back to mantra a few times. My heart is opening. Staying in your Shavasana rest for as long as you'd like to. If now is the time, then just beginning those little movements as you slowly reawaken. You know, like we're coming out of our little cocoon of Shavasana. We will emerge into something a little bit different than we were when we first came into this practice. You're coming up to sitting, then just take some time to make that a nice sit and just be in your space. Feel into your own energy bubble. And let it be that this feeling of cocooning, of literally hugging yourself with your own energy. This calm energies. Not inviting back in any of those emotions you might have experienced at the very beginning, but just being aware of what you have released. And you could even name it. And when you're ready, you'll inhale. And as you exhale, join your palms together at your heart. Bow your chin. And we just honor what is. We'll seal this practice together with our May We Be Blessed mantra and one Om. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. Inhale. As you exhale your breath, breathe into your palms. Hold that breath for a moment. Bow your chin. And then lifting your chin, open your eyes and offer this to yourself. And at the same time, we offer it out. And that could even just be whatever needs to go. Yes. So much love, you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful, crisp day. And Sharon, hopefully we see you on Thursday. If not, all good energies will be sent your way. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, so much love. Oh, I'll see you later.